As we have already stated there are three things so far the JDBC related Java programming is concerned. The first thing is that the server, which basically includes the database, that is the MySQL server we have covered, and the next thing is basically JDBC driver. So, this basically driver is a connector between your program written in Java application to the database which is mentioned. So, there is a connector. Now, we are going to discuss about JDBC as a connector, so that it will connect a Java programmer to the database. Now, in the last examples what we have discussed about is a direct, there is no connection from the same host machine where you have installed the MySQL, from there from the same console you have executed. But now, we will basically see how from the Java application as an endpoint we can communicate to the MySQL server remotely. So, this concept is called the Java database connectivity. Now, let us see exactly concept first. So, as I told you, Java database connectivity ensures you to have the connection from your program. This is your Java application, you can write whatever the programming it is there, using any API you can use it here. So, it basically is a program actually that you. Now, your database can be stored here, maybe Oracle or MySQL or some other system database is there, it is there. Now, here is the Java database connectivity, JDBC driver, he basically connect your application to this database. So, this connection is a basically is a connector like. Now, for this connection you can okay, fine. So, for the JDBC connections related APIs is concerned, all those things are available in a package in Java, and this is a bundle package like API. So, java.sql. Anyway, how to do this connection and everything through JDBC and everything. So, basically JDBC related all the commands is basically implementation is available in java.sql. We will discuss about java.sql package later on. Now, we will discuss about only the JDBC connectivity and regarding the JDBC driver. Now, the driver that you can install from the driver is a Java SQL.driver is one package, it is there. So, using this package basically there are two classes, driver manager and driver, three classes rather, driver manager, driver, and then this is the connection. So, these are the three things that you can have from this Java SQL.package actually. So, these three classes are already defined there. We will discuss about all these classes later on. Anyway, in order to use the JDBC from your program, definitely java.sql should be imported in this application, and then you have to create the object of this driver manager, driver, and then connection. So, this will basically help you from your program side how the JDBC can be connected. Once the JDBC is connected with your application, then JDBC will take care about the execution of any SQL statement that you issued from your program there, and it will send this statement, go to the server, server will execute, and then result will be returned to JDBC. JDBC in turn return the result to your program, and then from the program you can have the result and process it, and then you can get everything. So, here basically directly if you can do it, but here through JDBC you can this one. And one important thing is that this is basically the object oriented concept, object oriented paradigms it is there. Wherever this database which you usually use relational database. So, it is a relational concept. So, paradigm is different. There may be some object oriented database also there, but usually SQL follow the relational database, and JDBC is a unique one system we can say, which basically match between the object oriented concept to the relation concept. So, this is a very unique one features that the JDBC provides us, and very useful also for many Java programmers. Anyway, so this is basically the about the JDBC database connectivity, and as you know JDBC supports the SQL related query execution. So, JDBC in fact is a SQL level API which is very popular for handling RDBMS, that means relational database management system. Now, there are some what is called the driver also available, which basically allow to handle with some other type of database management system also, but initially until time the SQL related RDBMS is very popular there. and there are many vendor, those basically help you to maintain your database, as we have mentioned here, for example, Oracle DB from the Oracle. MySQL is basically from the Oracle itself, but it is a smaller version one, and Oracle DB is very for the business purpose, for big business in the organization if they want to use it for this one, and MySQL is for the small enterprises for organization. Other than this one, one more popular is called the Sybase, and there is also MS SQL Microsoft from, and that is also available. These are the basically database, but in our in this session, in this discussion, we have used the MySQL. Basically syntax and everything are the same, you do not bother about whether it is Oracle DB or MySQL or Sybase or MS SQL, absolutely they are very transparent. You do not have to think about anything which database management system has been maintained, but JDBC will be able to contact or interact any database vendor, Oracle DB, MySQL, Sybase or whatever it is there, but here obviously for different vendor database the JDBC driver is also different. So, usually every vendor, for example, Oracle DB create a JDBC driver for you if you want to use it. Similarly, MySQL also create another JDBC driver for compatible to MySQL. So, you have to install that JDBC driver for which you want to have a connection. So, I will tell you exactly how the MySQL related JDBC driver can be installed in our machine. Now, relational database, as we already know that it is basically relational database means is a table. A table contains a number of fields and also it contains a number of records, and that is why it is called the table. So, relational database means called tabular database, but it is called the relation because the processing of the different entities or the records or the entire tables or many tables based on some mathematical formulation. This mathematical formulation is called relational algebra, as the entire database can be processed using the mathematical syntax called the mathematical operations relational algebra. This is why this is called the relational database management system, and that is a RDB mesh. Now, so far the database driver is concerned, which I was just talking about. So, if you run your SQL statement from your application, as it will be run remotely to a server through JDBC driver, and for different JDBC driver the different program is there. So, the different database management system, the different program is there, as you see here. So, this basically Java application, any one application from any one program, right. So, JDBC driver. Now, as I say JDBC driver you have to install if you want to connect Oracle for Oracle compatible this one. So, from the Oracle source only you can get it, install it. Similarly, Sybase also you can get it, install it, MySQL you can get it, install it, and then this basically, so it will connect the database server, and this is the Java application. Java JDBC will connect one application to the database management system through JDBC. That concept is basically it is there, that is the characteristic that we have to follow. I think it is easy to understand. Now, in our discussion whatever we will follow, we will refer to JDBC driver related to MySQL database server only, and the approach in fact very similar to any other database, Oracle or Sybase or MSQL, absolutely no difficulties, only you have to install that appropriate driver in your system. The JDBC driver for different database is different, as I told you, but you have to just install this one. Now, JDBC is popular because it can be executed anywhere from any system. So, platform dependency, independency is a very good issues. That means, as you know, Java application is a platform independent. So, absolutely you can run this program from any system as you wish, and then is basically object relation mapping. I told you. So, Java application is object oriented, whereas database is relation oriented. So, there is a good mapping for the JDBC and is a unique concept it is there. And network independence, in which network it belongs, absolutely you do not have to bother about it. JDBC driver itself will take care about all network related these things. So, the network programming that we have learned about, this is for the core related to some other network protocol implementation, whereas the database connectivity also the through network only, because your remote server can be maintained in some distance location, but JDBC will connect from your application to database server, and both to and fro connection. That means, if the database server returns some results, the results will be collected by the JDBC driver and it will return to your application and vice versa. So, this is the database independency is very important, and database independency is because, as I told you, it is also applicable for relational database, but there are some systems for which the JDBC driver is also available, which basically allow you to connect it for an object oriented database or some other database management system. Now, as you have told you, so in order to use the JDBC, definitely you should know SQL, because you have to fire the SQL related query statement through JDBC driver. Now, I will just discuss quickly that there are different type of JDBC driver, and in this slide, as we see, there are 4 different type of JDBC drivers are there. So, the first type on driver is called the JDBC ODBC bridge driver. So, it is basically object oriented database corporation. Is basically the idea about this JDBC driver is that so they can use any third party API, that means not the Java API. So, if this driver you access the third party API, then it is called the type 1 JDBC driver, and usually no network connection they support. So, if you install JDBC driver in your host machine and in same machine the third API is also installed, then you can use the database from there. So, it is not a remote connection is not possible. And next is the type 2 JDBC driver. There are some native API. So, you can develop your own API or already existing C or C++ libraries. If you use it, then this driver can be the type 2 JDBC driver. That kind of driver is also available in the market. However, the same type 1 driver like these also connect to the server into the same host, no network connection is possible. On the other hand, type 3 JDBC driver, it can consider anyone type 1 or type 2, however connected through net. So, this basically network connection is there. So, this driver will connect the network, connect to the remote one host, that host can include the DBC, that kind of concept is there. So, this is the type 3, and finally, type 4 JDBC driver is a basically independent, it can be independently connect to the network and then you can use it. So, this is basically is a good for remote server maintenance and other issues are there. So, whatever it is there, we will basically follow the type 4 JDBC driver in our session discussion. And as you see, the type 1 is a bridge driver, it basically bridges from this Java API to other API like, whereas API driver, the type 2 driver is a partially Java driver, and then type 3 and type 4 is fully developed by Java system only. So, they are the hybrid, actually we can say, these are the two hybrid JDBC driver actually. In some situation, if you want to have cross platform application, then you can follow it. So, these are the driver that is there, and then now how the JDBC ODBC work, it is basically this is explained here. This is the database, as I told you, everything should be installed in the same machine, that is the client machine, and if it is your Java application, you can just in the same machine host it, and then the same machine also hosts the database management system. So, this way it basically works there, but if this type of driver has certain pros and cons. Advantage is that easy to use and can be easily connected to any database, that is a good advantage. However, its performance has an issue because the performance degraded because JDBC method call is converted into ODBC function call. So, if that query execution is not so fast, and then the ODBC driver needs to be installed in the same client machine, that means both JDBC and ODBC needs to be installed. And then next is type 2 native API, that means as I told you, you can connect to your own API or some already existing API that those are there in C, C++ like. So, here is the same thing like just like type 2 in the client machine, you have to install all this. So, JDBC API should be installed, and then the database also needs to be installed, but only it will connect, other than other database it will connect to the native or C, C++ API is there, and this is your application. So, these are different facilities or service that it can give to you, and our next example, and then it has some obviously advantage and disadvantage. It is also again performance issue also it has, because it needs to be converted from your API to other native API, like the native driver needs to be installed on each client machine as the same issues it is there. The vendor library needs to be installed in the client machine also, because JDBC driver also to be installed, and native APIs those you have to use it also needs to be installed in the same machine. So, these are the things are there in this particular example. And type 3 is basically network protocol. As you know, type 3 database can be connected through net, whether it is a type 1 or type 2 it also can be connected, but usually it is type 1 independently, and here is the idea it is. So, basically these are the server side that can be in a remote location connected through the network, and then network protocol driver they are basically will connect it, that needs to be installed in your machine of course, and this basically the JDBC driver. JDBC driver will follow what type of network protocol that needs to be there. Actually JDBC driver itself includes this protocol bundle with this one. So, you do not have to explicitly consider, both the things will be there, only in your machine you have to install this JDBC driver. And then finally, your application Java application using your JDK and whatever it is there you install it. So, you can run your Java program and then get a connection through JDBC. JDBC will send the connection to the database server, get the result will be returned. So, this is basically the type 3. Type 3 is the most one sophisticated things it is there. However, there is another type 4 database is also there, but now let us see what is the issue, good point and bad point. So far this type 3 is there. Here the no client side library is required, because JDBC driver is installed in your own machines only the JDBC driver, and then your Java needs to be installed there. And disadvantage is the network support is required, because without network communication you cannot connect to that, and it requires database specific coding to be done in the middle tier. So, the database coding means it will already JDBC will take care, but some coding effort is required time to time. And finally, as it is related to the network, so network protocol needs to be compatible to your system. Now, type 4 actually is a process to eliminate all those things is there. It is more sophisticated than type 3 here. So, here again database is in a remote location, and thin driver it is basically called, which basically take care about the network and then connectivity issues between your JDBC Java application Duo, and it will do these things. So, it is more sophisticated, and as it is again a few issues are there, like say type 3 database issues are there. Thin driver is required, as you know, basically, and better performance than all the drivers that we have considered, is very fast, and no software is required at the client side or server side as well as. And here the drivers basically different drivers from the different vendors are to be installed. I think this is not also big issue, we can do it. So, we will consider the type 4 JDBC driver in our discussion. Anyway, so we have learned about JDBC and JDBC characteristics. Architecture may be 2-tier architecture, all the type 1, type 2, all these things are the 2-tier architecture, and then the 3-tier architecture is also similarly type 3, type 4 JDBC driver are the 3-tier architecture. Now, let us see what exactly inside the JDBC is there. Now, so there are few steps actually if you want to invoke the JDBC in your application. So, first you have to load a JDBC driver, that can be done from your program itself by making some classes which basically provides you to how to load a driver to your application, and then you have to create a connection. There is again class facilities are there, and once it is connection is there, you have to connect to the data source, which database you want to connect it, and then you execute SQL statement the way we have already explained during our MySQL studies, and then the result that you will receive, you have to process the result according to your own requirement. So, these are the 5-step procedure that we have to follow, and we will learn exactly all these 5 procedures how it can be executed carried out in our from the Java application. Now, so far the JDBC driver is concerned, we have to install this driver. This is the one link I have given it for you. So, you can go to this link and directly install it, and this is the most current version it is available. There is also other link is also available, from here also you can download this JDBC driver that is in your case, that is the type 4 JDBC driver actually we have mentioned you. Once this installation that installation is very straightforward, you just download this one and double click, it will automatically install in your machine. We have to then finally set the class path, and all those settings are minimum requirement that is required. And then class path setting, okay, if you know a little bit system level administrative job in Windows, you can do it. Otherwise, in our next demonstration we will give you the details about how the class path can be set. And then connecting to database, I will come to there how the connection can be done. Now, I told you that all these things can be possible from your application itself. So, we should follow some API. So, the API that is responsible for doing this thing is java.sql API, that is a package. So, you have to import java.sql.star. That means, this package contains the different classes as we have mentioned here: driver manager, driver, connection, statement, result set, and SQL exception. So, all these classes are enough, and only few, these are the 6 different class libraries are there in our java.sql API. So, learning all these class is basically sufficient to use it. So, we will try to learn all these classes in our next in this current session as well in our next session. So, that how we can utilize this one. Driver manager is responsible for maintaining the driver, and driver is basically the controlling the things, and then here basically the driver manager statement, driver manager result sets, and then SQL exception are the classes, whereas the driver, connection and statement are the interface. That means, class facilities are there, and we have to use the interface to redefine your requirement. Actually, we will discuss all these things. Now, so far the loading the JDBC driver is concerned, from your program you have to issue this statement. So, from your Java program, if you execute this one, and here is basically your type 4 driver where it is basically mentioned. So, you have to give this one, and then this basically your program will connect to the JDBC driver automatically, and then it will basically establish a connection. This is very simple. On the other hand, if you want to connect the Oracle, this is the driver that okay, loading procedure, and if it is for the MSQL, this is the loading procedure. For the different what is called the database management system, the different loading procedures are there. So, that information also you can have it from the vendor itself. So, they will tell you that how to load your JDBC driver to connect to that particular database is there. And then finally, the connection object is there. So, you have to create a connection object. As I told you, connection is a class, is an interface which is already there in java.sql package, and then use the driver manager, this is the class 1, and there is a method get connection. Now, here is a few syntax that I have told you. So, you have to create a connection object, this is the connection object con, initially it is null, and then this is basically username guest and then password guest. Suppose that the username and password, always it should be specified. In our earlier discussion about MySQL, we have given the username as root and password as root also. Otherwise, you can set whenever you install the system, that time you can give the username and password can be changed also. Anyway, say suppose username and password are the two objects, two string is guest and guest like, you have to just have it. And then this is basically URL one string, that basically in which machine your server is there. Here is basically, if you see your SQL server, if it is installed in this IP address, then you have to mention it, and then in which directory that you have to mention it, and this is the name of the database that you have to do it. For example, TST is the database, it is installed in this remote server whose IP address is there, and this is basically the directory where it is stored there. So, this URL actually the for any connection, as you know, in Java networking we have told you URL is basically a specific location of a particular server where it is there. And once this URL is already known, then you have to create the connection object is created here, and then it can be instantiated by calling this method driver manager dot get connection, as I told you, and passing these are the 3 arguments: URL, username, password. So, this is the idea about how you can connect to your application to the remote server using this statement. Now, here, so the idea it is so Java MySQL database is basically name of the driver where it is loaded, and this basically database server where the location, and finally, this is the name of the database. Those 3 things are very important. Now, again, if you want to install your server in locally, that is also possible, means your JDBC driver and your application and the server, database server, both are in the same machine. Then here in this case you should write local host, that is all. So, this will complete the idea about the idea about establishing a connection from your application to the database server. Now, so far the statement execution is concerned in JDBC, in Java API, java.sql API, there are one class statement is there. Now, this class has the three different predefined classes are there, called the statement, prepared statement and callable statement. So, statement is basically executing one statement at a time. Prepared statement is set of statement can be punched together to this things one, and callable statement means if you want to change the statement execution when you are issuing this one. Anyway, statement and prepared statement, if you want to execute one statement or multiple statement at a time. Now, here is a simple example that we are going to discuss about how we can execute some SQL statement using our JDBC data connectivity already there from our program. Now, in this program you have to include these are the statement. So, statement is an object is created, object is the type of the class statement, initially it is null. So, the object is just defined, and then the connection with the earlier discussion, if you create a connection to this one. So, connection, this is an object, connection object, and then the create statement is basically instantiate the statement object. So, this statement and connection are very important in this case. Now, once the statement object is created using this one successfully, if there is no error, then you are free to execute any statement. All the statement you can type in English, whether lowercase uppercase, it is not an issue. Then they should be enclosed in double quote. For example, I want to execute show tables or show databases, then I write show databases or show tables within double quote, and then execute method can be called for this statement object. So, it will basically show you, and once this is there in your control, all the database, all the tables which are there will be displayed into the system. Similarly, another statement insert into Java course value this one. So, as you have already learned about how all these statement we have executed from the same console, but here from the Java application it will go to the JDBC driver, JDBC driver will send this statement to the database server will execute it, and then you can get the result also. So, this basically tell you how the different statement can be executed from your JDBC from your Java application. There are many other other statement also, likewise we can execute it. Now, there are obviously few more useful methods, as we have used one execute method. Like execute method, there are some other method also there. They are basically same thing, right, whether it returns something or not. So, execute query, execute update, execute and get maximum rows. Get maximum rows means it will basically tell in a data that how many method, how this statement if it is executed, how many methods, how many results have been changed or updated, like this one. On the other hand, execute query, it is basically creates a data what is called the return, it basically return a result set. Actually, the result set regarding we will discuss in details. Basically, if you execute a query, it will return some results. So, those results can be captured by one object called the object of type result set class, and then it can be stored there, and it basically execute update means it will update it and then finally return boolean, that means whether true or false, like this one. Execute also execute the same way, but it is basically the different methods are there, basically the same thing whatever it is there. Now, execute can be used without any result set, whereas these can be used with result set or simple the report report during the execution, like. Anyway, so these are the different statements that is possible for the statement object, and we will use in our demo as well in the next session also we will discuss about details about the programming, so that how the results can be processed. Now, this is another example called the prepare statement. As you see here, this statement is basically we can create a query string, it is basically statement insert into Java code, this is the one statement, and that value actually we have not mentioned it here, but that value can be given it after this query string is prepared. We can push this value by means of prepare statement. So, prepare statement is another type of statement. So, basically p statement, statement int, and then 1 means the first value with this value 12, 2 means the second value with this one, 3 means the 3 value 64, 4 is this one this way. So, this basically first is basically argument indicates that which values, and this is basically what is the value for this to be by which this one. Now, what we can do is that we can read all these things from the keyboard or some other means by input output stream or whatever it is there, then we can load all this thing into this statement, and finally, we can execute this one P statement execute update, that means it will fire this statement finally. So, this is the idea about, that means if you want to prepare one statement, and then we can use the prepare statement object for that. So, this is the prepare statement class, and result set is basically, as I told you, it will store the results returned by the execution of a SQL statement through the Java application. And so, result set is basically a complex one concepts, but it returns you number of rows basically. If you execute a statement which can return say number of rows like, so if the number of rows are there, you can process or you can scan from one result to another result by means of next method it is there. So, next method is there. Anyway, we will have, let us have some examples, okay, so that we can understand about result set methods are there. So far the result set class is concerned, these are the different methods we have discussed about it. So, better all these method will be understood during the application. Okay. In our next session we will discuss about different application of these result sets one by one. And there is again another important aspect that you should remember, the different data type. See, SQL also provides some data type, whereas Java provides some other data type. So, there are mismatch in fact. So, here we have mentioned about, so Boolean, if it is a data type that SQL language can understand, SQL that is structured query language can understand, whereas Boolean is in Java, it is like a Boolean class. Similarly, character that is there in SQL, it basically understand string, and varchar is basically string of characters, it is string, double is double, float is double, integer is integer, real is double, date is this is the class date, time is class time, timestamp that is followed by this one, this one. So, you have to just matching whenever the result set that can be obtained. So, they can have this kind of data type from the SQL sites, and whenever you receive from your application site, these are the data types. So, there is a conversion is possible. So, there is a method of this conversion. So, these are the method by which the data type from Boolean, from the SQL to the Java program Boolean, and then these are the method, actually get method it is called, most popularly called the result set get method. So, by this method you can convert the data easily into your Java compatible things are there. Now, here is an example, let us see how the result set can be processed here. Assuming that the connection is maintained, and then JDBC driver has been loaded and a connection is established, and now we are executing the statement, and then this is, suppose this is the statement that we have executed. This is the statement, suppose we have executed the select star from Java course. So, this means, as you know, if the database includes contains certain record, it will give all the records that is there in the table. So, all the record will be stored into this RS object. So, RS object is basically the entire records or entire rows basically contents. Now, here while rs.next means start. So, this is the result set will contain, this is the record 1, then record 2, record 3 and so on. So, dot n records are there. So, rs.next basically when it is not end means end of these records, it will process it, name string rs get string, that means name which is basically the first field will get into this one, roll get into this one, marks get into this one, grade get into this one. So, get string method is basically get whatever the type it is there in the string, and from the they will be stored in the string format, and from the string format if you can convert in the integer or double or whatever the type that is required there, so that you can get it. So, this way the one by one each record can be processed and it can be used in your purpose. So, this is the idea about the results returned by the JDBC connection, and then it can be used there. And another important thing is that exception is very much important. So far the JDBC is concerned there. So, lot of try catch block can be added there, because exception may occur many times. Say suppose you are not able to establish a connection, so error will occur. Suppose you have connected the established, but because of the network disruption sometimes the data is not accessible. So, in order to avoid all those kind of unwanted disruption in the execution, so all those things can be caught by exception classes. So, the JDBC in the API, JDBC API, there is a lot of SQL exception is there, and few exception methods it is there, SQL exception, SQL state, SQL error, all those things can be get message, get SQL state, get SQL error code, so many things are there. So, that knowing the what type of error we can process it. So, these are the and essentially exception handling mechanism needs to be followed in this case also. Those things every statement which you are going to execute or every statement there in your program better can be put under the Java exception handling mechanism. These are the try-catch bug. Okay, so, we have discussed about JDBC driver, connection, and then establishing and then execution of the statement, and then once the result is there. In our next session, we will discuss about more how to execute statement, all the connection, all the 5 steps that we have already told you regarding the JDBC application. We will discuss about all these 5 statements, how can be executed, and then how the different execution can be carried out. Now, we can store and retrieve image using a JDBC or not? The answer is yes, but that procedure is bit difficult. And although ODBC is very good for storing what type of data, but SQL is basically good for only storing the other, but if that storing is not directly it is possible, some indirect mechanisms are there. And then prepared statement we have used it, its purpose is that if you want to get the data one by one, those data can be collected in your application and finally create a statement to be executed, then the prepared statement is there. So, these are the obvious questions, probably you have learned it. Okay, fine. So, okay, thank you very much.